shark. It's the Shark Daymond. We
Did you
should have
invite him?
known. Yes, we're
Okay.
golden. He's been invited. He's hanging out, doing his thing. Do a dirt bike video. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of broken bones. Not a big fan of the broken stuff. So here's my theory on all the dangerous stuff when it comes to me and risking my life. So if it's a high probability that I'll get injured, say going down a half pipe. What up, Damon? How are you, dude?
I'm good. What's happening?
Dude, just hanging out here in Frisco, Texas. It's summertime. What are you up to?
I am in Miami hanging
Oh,
out.
okay.
Yeah.
Living the good life in the Sunshine State.
Living the good life, baby.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What are you up to today?
I'm up to hearing what's going on with you. This is my first Instagram Live in probably about a month. I've been so busy and traveling, you know?
You are probably extremely busy. We were doing some stuff yesterday. We went down to a saloon in Dallas and filmed a fight scene where we like choreographed like maybe like a mini movie, but it's only gonna be like 3 minutes long. And we had Boban come join us and threw Corey into the ceiling. It was a lot of fun, but we're excited as Dallas Mavericks fans for everything going on there.
Yeah. Mark is doing his thing.
It's good stuff. It's a good start.
So what's going on, man?
You know, we're just here hanging out. We just did our ID Tech Live videos where you can go in and kiddos can kind of learn the basics of what we did, whether it was editing a video, the special effects, or how to make a trick shot video. So that was a lot of fun to film. We got our whole team involved and made those videos and just kind of talked through what we do as YouTubers. We've been doing it for 12 years now. And so it's been a lot of fun to kind of do that like behind the scenes video style stuff. And so I'm assuming you've been doing some of that as well.
I have been, and I love the whole ID Tech concept because so many kids these days need to understand that they can be the next Zuckerbergs or the next people who can, you know, do exactly what you do, but not just in front of the camera and back. I mean, it's 300 people that it takes to operate Shark Tank. You only see 6 people.
Jeez. Well, I wish I could say the same. It takes about 12 people here at Dude Perfect to keep that sucker running, but we are growing. So if you're, you know, an editor out there, if you're a graphic designer, we're all ears. Damon, if you want to come join the team, we'd love you.
I have no problem doing that. I need somebody to teach me trick shots and then how to edit it and make them look even better.
Amazing. That's great. How long are you in Miami for?
Probably going to be here for about 2 more days. I live in New York as well, so I'm going to go back up to New York and just relax and enjoy the summer. That's the best time in New York before it gets cold.
Is home LA or?
New York and Miami.
Okay. That's great. A lot of homes probably all over the place.
Yeah, got a couple of them.
That's great. That's awesome.
So you got any questions for me, man? I got questions for you, but you got any questions for me?
Man, I have so many.
Let's make people here smarter tomorrow.
I love it. So for you, like, just on the Shark Tank side, when you guys get an opportunity, you know, in front of the camera and with the group, is it something where you're like, do you have a system of things in your head internally that's like, okay, I like the guy or the girl, I like what they're about, and then you have like a filter that you kind of base decisions on, or is it more just about the idea and the project manager of it? Like, what's your thought there?
Well, it's really about initially the idea. I have to resonate with the idea. So anybody here looking for somebody to invest in their company or even invest in themselves, that you have to resonate with it, right? And find a fascination and a love for it. So once I resonate with the idea, and then I want to look to see, okay, well, how did you sell it? And you know, what did you do? And this is where I love the fact how we work at ID Tech. I want to know that people knew how to work every aspect of it, from the creation of it to delivering it, and they didn't have to depend on anybody. And they knew that if somebody quit or somebody didn't want to help them or they didn't have enough money, they were going to do it themselves regardless, and nobody was going to stop them. So that's a great partner for me because I know that I can depend on you. And then last but not least, the reality is, you know, do I like you? Period.
That's important.
That's important. I mean, how do you work with the other guy to do perfect if you didn't like him?
It's true.
You know, people want to just hide behind screens and hide behind texts and stuff like that. But sooner or later, you're going to have to see somebody. And if you're working next to them or they're your partner, if I don't like you, then we're never going to solve any problems. I'm never even going to want to talk to you about the damn problem. So that's a lot of people just don't realize that. And I know that a lot of kids, you know, they think that they can only communicate through these devices, which are great. But sooner or later, you're going to have to follow up on somebody. And even through these devices, people sometimes they ghost you because they don't like you.
It's true. That's very important. Just building that rapport and a base of not even just a friendship, but just like a an opportunity to let the relationship grow and have a two-way street where you both can keep in contact and over communicate. I think for us at Dude Perfect, we've been very hands-on in the business for the last 12 years. And I think from your experience, I feel like you're really good at delegating and trusting the team behind you. And I think if you could just give us wisdom on what that looks like and how you were able early on, you know, with Fubu and all the businesses you run, to be able to like pass that off. Because I'm sure early on you're like, dude, I'm the best at the design, I'm the best at the decision making, I'm best at the high level stuff. Where at Dude Perfect, the five of us have kind of take ownership of creative and ownership of the ideas, and sometimes we can get lost in the weeds.
Yeah.
And our goal now is to kind of let the business thrive, us then go higher level and trust the team that we have in place. Can you kind of elaborate on just what it means to have a good group behind you?
Yeah, so it goes back to a little bit of what we're talking about, what we're doing and you're doing with ID Tech. Like this, first of all, you need to know how to operate whatever it is, right? And you need to know the back end, the programming of whatever it is. I don't care if you're building something from technology or you're building a t-shirt or you're building a retail store. You need to know some of that information, because then when you know that information, you can then delegate it to a team member and say, all right, what do you want to do? What do I want to do? All right, this is your area. I'm going to make sure this is your area. Now, here's how it is when you work for me. This is the person's job, period. But at any time, I want you to be a Swiss Army knife. If you can add value to somebody else who's in need in their job or improve their job, then do it. This person does not need to have an ego as well, because collectively we're doing it as a team for the best outcome. You got to also let people fail, right? But fail small, not big. Not say, oh, wait until 6 months and see from now. Wait until a year. No, what is the incremental step, the small step that I need to see you do and fail? And if you don't fail, then if you do fail, we'll learn together. And if you don't, we're going to grow together, right? But the reason why I initially said you need to know their job is because if you then, as a boss or a leader or a group, if you start to say, hey, man, I'm going to hire somebody in this area. Well, if the person sucks because you know some of the basics of it, you know to let them go. You know they're full of crap. When they're telling you that they're doing all that they can do, you're like, no, you're not. Because if you did this, whatever. But what if you come up with a superstar that's so much smarter than you? Then you go like this. Thank God. Now I can move on to something else. You know, and I can leave that over in that area, and whatever that person says, I'm cool. It's kind of like I always say, like Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. You know, Mr. Spock, he worked for Captain Kirk. But he'll tell him, here's the probability of failing, and if Captain Kirk gets really out of the way, then Spock just pinches him and puts him to sleep because he's so good. And you know what I mean? So that's how you want it to be.
That's great. Well, in our life, in our world at Dude Perfect, Tyler originally, those first 5-8 years, he was like our prop guy. So he'd run to Home Depot and he'd build the trophy, and he'd build the battle that we were about to film. And then at some point it came where like, dude, let's find somebody to replace you. And it was hard early, but then when we brought that team in, I mean, the overtime desk and this office and all the stuff that we've done since then over the last 5-6 years, it's just mind blowing, has been with somebody else other than us. And I think that was a really easy example for, kids out there and people out there to understand, like, at some point, try to make your job replaced by somebody else so that you can move up in the business, and then let yourself grow in whatever that product or service is that you're doing.
Now, I got a question for you, because I want to talk about your make trick shot games with Dude Perfect in Roblox. It's 7 to 9 years old. It's on. It's the Dude Perfect ID Tech course. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So it's just an opportunity for kiddos to get in there and like create their own world, create their own like trick shot design. And so I'm not really familiar with like the Minecraft space, but apparently like you can go in, it's just kind of this open-ended space. And so for us, like, we're offering this opportunity for kiddos to go in there and like manipulate things and trust from people who've done it before, and then learn from them, and then do it for their own custom interests and whatever they're doing. And so it was a lot of fun to film those videos. We did this like probably a month ago, and just kind of got to like sit down with each team member of our group and educate our fans and the people that are interested that are going to be using it this summer, to kind of just make either content or cool little programming inside that space, customized to what they like to do. So it's a pretty cool opportunity. I don't know if you've got free time or kiddos or what, but I would definitely jump in and dabble with it.
No, absolutely. And so that's for basically kiddos about 7 to 9 years old. But there, you have another one for 10 to 12 years old, and that one is trick shot video editing.
Correct. So it's just kind of what we've learned over the last 12 years. We've been in the space since really YouTube started. We loaded our first video in 2009. YouTube was 2006, and was really just Charlie bit my finger, Scarlett takes a tumble, and then cat videos. And so when we posted our first trick shot video, people were like, holy smokes, I've never seen a trick shot outside of a gym or like an arena. And so the videos really caught fire, and then we kind of learned and just kind of took our own path on how to film and how to do these intros and then have the shot made and then keep the ball in frame so that people weren't questioning whether it was real or not. And then the big piece is the celebration at the end of like, hey, you made it, let's celebrate, high five, do our thing. And then that's kind of the core structure of a trick shot video. And it just takes time, reps, and really it helps to have a group of friends who are like, hey, you know, it's your turn to make the shot, I'll help rebound and make it happen. But we kind of go into more depth of what it takes to have the music, have the special effects, maybe some product pieces where the target explodes with colored powder, that kind of thing. So it's really a cool window into what we've done, because we've never really told anybody, even from a stage on tour or at a seminar, we've never really opened that door until now.
When's the last time that it's 5 of you, right?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time that any of you had a job other than that you weren't working for yourselves?
Yes, we graduated Texas A&M in 2010. We all got real jobs, and then about 4 or 5 years into it, we're like, hey, let's quit our real jobs and go do YouTube. And at the time, that seemed insane. So that was 2014. So, you know, it's been 7 years of us up here in Frisco grinding and traveling and doing it full time. So the answer is 7 years, and the business has grown in so many different branches to where if Garrett's really passionate about the merchandise side, so he kind of runs our merchandise line. Ty's really passionate about the creative, so he runs that whole team that's making the videos, thinking of overtime, making the cool not cool decisions. And then like Corey's really excited about the book and the production of the editing side, so he runs that. I'm more on the social media side, just being the clown of the group on all the different platforms. And then Kobe kind of runs the business day-to-day stuff. So we're really trying this year to get out of the weeds. But at the end of the day, like we enjoy it. We love it. We've never worked a day in our life since we started owning our own business. And I know you're an entrepreneur. We were not. Like we'd love that concept, but I was in real estate doing commercial stuff. And when this opportunity came up, I didn't even know how owning your own business can just open yourself to the world and so many opportunities and your schedule and all those things. And so I'm addicted. I'm never going back. It's been pretty fun.
Listen, I was trying to be an entrepreneur ever since I was 6 years old, but I was as poor as I possibly could be at 27. I was not smart enough. I did not go to college. I did not have anything, and now here I am. So you're ahead of me. Congratulations, and I hope everybody watching us, especially the kiddos, are going to be ahead of you, because if you really think about it, you know, not only are you making your own decisions with a bunch of friends, but you're traveling the world, you're having fun. Maybe I can help you with some of that licensing so I can get you out of the weeds so you can do more of that. But, you know, the stat is that 50% of the kids graduating from college today will retire with a job title that doesn't actually exist today. That's like telling somebody 15 years ago you're going to be a drone operator, a social media expert, or a dude perfect person putting out trick shots. So I think this course that you're putting out is critical for parents to get for their kids to get for themselves, because even though you're thinking about shots, and you may have, you may be a parent with a young lady who is not interested in basketball, not that young ladies aren't.
Yeah.
But once you understand the fundamentals of what you're talking about, you can do that in any place. You can move it to any other place, and you can be somebody like you who does not have to work with anybody except for the people they like, and travel the world and have fun.
Totally. And I would just tell anyone watching right now, like, to go on to ID Tech's website and just take a look at the different courses. It doesn't have to just be the Dude Perfect one or even Daymond stuff. Like, there's so many different fields that if you're excited and passionate and see an avenue that you want to go down, whether you're learning that in school or maybe one day you want to do it, man, jump into it. I'd love to know more about your course specifically, Damon, on like what you guys are talking through. And is it just starting a business? Is it the vision? Is it creating a brand? Like what?
Sure. Yeah, it's brand packaging. It's how you understand your customer. It's how you present it, and all those things that as you get through it, and of course the coding and the technology is there to teach you those type of things. But you got to be able to present yourself. I mean, think about how many people on YouTube, but how good are you doing? Think about how many people that make T-shirts. How good am I doing? Why? Because it was how you positioned the brand, how you got to know who your customers were, how you tested it. And that's really great, and that's what you should be doing, now. And I got to tell you, I was watching the Domino's commercial the other day, and they started putting out autonomous vehicles to deliver pizza.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Right. Remember when you were a kid, the first couple of jobs you can get were delivering food? Well, that's gone. right? But maybe you're going to be programming the car
True.
to deliver the pizza, or maybe you'll be flying pizza on a drone. You got to have a good hand for that. But I think it's important to have all those things, whether it's shots, showing trick shots, showing activities, learning how to, present your new company, whether a shirt or anything else, or programming the next autonomous vehicles.
Insane. The world is changing. You got to adapt or die. That's what I would tell every kiddo. Just stay cutting edge. Your network is big, like shaking hands, knowing people. You don't want to burn bridges because you never know when that person's going to show back up in your life. And so I think that kind of stuff's really important and really not taught in school, or unless your father or mother is really beating that home. Like, it's just not a given that you're going to come out and know that, like, networking and relationships really do matter, because that's where the business world lives.
It really does do, man. So listen, let's follow up on another day, brother. I really
Love
like what you're doing, man. I'm a big fan of you and the guys. Tell them I
it.
said what's up.
Cool.
And keep inspiring us all and making us laugh and putting us in awe.
I love it.
And I
Thank you
can't
so
wait to. I'm going to make sure my nephews take your ID
Great.
your ID tech course.
I'm going to jump on yours. I felt like there were a couple things in there. I was like, well, I don't really know how to base. So we'll get after it. Cool. Thanks, Damon.
You got it. Peace.
Pound and noggin. Later, guys.
Peace.